All right, welcome to another episode of the Coug Catch Up with our host Gabe, Jeudy-Lally. My name is Jake Brandon. I'm a member of your production team this evening. Just want to get us started off by shouting out our awesome sponsors. We would not be having these, and the players would not be making NIL money off these streams if it was not for our sponsors. First off, we want to shout out Chubby's Cafe, best burgers in the entire state, and beer battered fries. I like the mushroom bacon Swiss. The avocado bacon is also a choice. Get in there and try that. Miracle Bowl, who's been like the premier bowling destination in the Provo-Orem area for 40 years. I don't know, my parents bowled there on dates, I'm pretty sure. So they've got the history. They've also got all the updated new lanes. Like, we're talking some of the nicest lanes that are only a year or two old in the entire state. And of course, we also would like to shout out Carrick Home Design, a premier home design architecture company in the state. They design lots of just beautiful homes in Park City, Heber Valley, Southern Utah County, I mean, all across the state. I've worked with them personally. They are amazing. They're getting VR put into their place where you can go in and put on virtual reality and walk through a home that you've designed, see it all in person. So if you've not checked out Carrick Home Design, follow them on Instagram. They've got some amazing things going on. And of course, SaveDamien.com. Damien's a young man with terminal illness. We're trying to raise $3 million to save his life. They're nearing in on $1 million. Go follow them as well on Instagram. Donate when you can. Help them out. They're an amazing family. Cougar fans. He's a former BYU linebacker as well. And of course, CougConnect.com. If you like to see what we're doing and you like what the players are doing and you would like to see them be successful in the NIL world, go subscribe at CougConnect.com. It's $10 a month, and the great vast majority of the money goes to the players. All right, with that being said, you're not here to listen to me. You're here to listen to Gabe, and our special guest tonight, who's speaking of BYU linebackers, is the Max Tooley. Gabe, take it away.
We're here to talk about just a few things tonight, so let's get it started. What do you think about the New Jerseys?
New Jersey. I mean, shoot, I like it. I've always been a fan of the All Blacks. I don't know. I didn't really get them in high school, but the couple times we won them here, yeah, it's always like fire. So, shoot, I don't know. I think BYU pulls off a good black every once in a while. You know?
Yeah, like I definitely wasn't expecting the fade of the color of the helmet, and we put them on today, and I was like actually pretty tough in my personal opinion. I'm used to wearing like all black, like it's just what we did at Vanderbilt and everything like that. But I think like the black with the blue goes really, really well. And I actually had never watched the Notre Dame video. Did you watch the Notre Dame video?
Yeah, I watched it back when they released it.
Yeah, and then I watched it compared to ours, and I think that ours was like a lot better than theirs. There's a little corny with the best friends in the middle. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're awesome. I'm excited to
Our video was definitely pretty lit.
I know.
I don't know. Those guys never even tell us about that stuff. You gotta be like top tier to like know about that stuff.
I mean, yeah, I guess where we don't get the secrets. I thought that was really cool that like they like walked through the like UFC like center and stuff like that. And it was boom, boom, and then came out there. So
you gotta have the UFC in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's gonna be exciting. Are you excited about this weekend?
I'm pumped. I've always thought this was probably the biggest game of the year, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, am I like not like particularly happy that they're not 4-0 or 5-0? But you know, at the end of the day, I know they're gonna play us hard, and so like I'm excited about it. What do you think personally about like what we gotta do on defense to get the job done this week?
Sure. I mean, I think when you look at what we've kind of struggled with, as much as just stopping the run, and I think if we can stop the run with them, obviously they're a big team, so if we can stop the run, I think we'll be chilling. Y'all DBs, corners got it covered on the back end, so I think as long as we can do our job up front, I don't know. I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I know. I think they'd be make any team one-dimensional. It's hard to win the football game. And like I'm not gonna sit here and say they can't throw the football. They got an All-American tight end and everything like that. But I just think that stopping the pass is definitely one of our fortes. I mean, we got Mr. Pick Six over here, so like it makes sense when it comes to it. And then I think that if we can show we can stop the run this week, I think it translates into the next week. And the team that we play next week, that's exactly what they do. So I think it'll be helpful for us. And the offense, I know they're very good. I mean, in regards to the slow start, regardless to the fast start, they always pick it up and they always get it done. So I'm excited about that. But speaking about picks, so another one this past week to the end zone with the neck roll. Like talk about it. I
don't know, man. I think it's just, I feel like it's a matter of just reading the quarterback and just being in the right spot for situations like that. You know, we always talk about tips and overthrows and whatnot.
Get those, baby.
You gotta get those. And so, I don't know. When I saw that ball, I was like, yeah, that's mine. And it's probably a tut too. Whatnot. Like, you gotta score a tut if you get the pick. So,
yeah, so like the ball was actually going to my receiver on that play. I was like, oh, I'm about to pick this thing off. Whatever the case is, and you got it. And I remember I like tumbled and fell on the ground and I got up and you were in the end zone. I was like, bro, what just happened right here? Like I didn't even see you pick the ball up, and I was like, that was wild. But then
it was kind of crazy turn of events, honestly.
It really was.
Yeah, sure.
I was listening to the announcer, so you lead the picks and you lead the nation in picks and interest.
True, I heard that news when you heard that news, so I don't know if it stands true after this weekend. I mean, it'd be cool, but when it comes down
for being
to
a
it,
backer, I
don't know.
If I had to be honest here, we still can get a freaking interception on the back end.
Oh,
so right now, you guys are making us look bad with all the picks that you got.
So, you know, all that matters is they don't catch it.
That's true.
But y'all will get one for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's this week, if I had to be honest with you. I mean, I hope it's any week, but like this week, I think it's a big momentum shift. You know, if we can get it.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's probably the biggest key to the game.
Yeah,
besides stopping the run, it's just getting the takeaways, man.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, we had to do like 3 things on defense to win the football game, and like you kind of mentioned it about the turnovers and stuff that we've been getting. Like, I think 1 is stopping the run. 2, I think we need 3 turnovers, and then like 3 is like we gotta get off the field on 3rd down.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, 4, because of how it looked last week, is when you try to stop shooting ourselves in the foot.
Oh yeah.
Jumping off sides, just unsportsmanlike penalties. I think those types of things, like, they're so little, but like in the grand scheme of things, like that's 15 free yards or 5 free yards, or we're back on the field again on 1st down. You know what I mean?
Get you tired.
Yeah.
Those long drives were tough. Like Utah State was no joke with their long drives.
Oh yeah, like
they got how many 90 plays almost of offense? Like that's
52 in the first half.
52 in the first half. Like,
it's because like they were dinking and dunking. They weren't. I mean, their offense was known for like making big plays, but of course, quarterback injury, whatever the case is, so they had to revamp the offense. But 52 plays and a half is like sometimes like I looked down on my sheet and I was like, oh, I played 52 plays this past game, but like I looked at the sheet and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, like 52 in the first half is
wild.
I don't think I've ever played in that fast space of a game, to be honest.
Yeah, it was like I don't think that they were particularly like as fast as I thought they were gonna be, but they just like really didn't go that far with the ball. Like they'd get 2 yards and then 4 yards and then go for it on 4th down, and that's like, oh my gosh, that'd be the whole series all the way down. So it's super hard to get used to that.
Yeah.
But
that's what it is. You got to deal with that. We need to do better with that, but we'll be good.
Yeah. What do you think the environment is going to be like in Vegas? Because y'all played there last year, so I have no clue like what to expect. Like, did a lot of people travel? Like, how was it?
It was solid. Last year, I mean, there were a lot of BYU fans. I didn't actually play in that game. I suited up, but I was still recovering from an MCL injury.
Oh, okay.
Last camp. So, but honestly, just seeing the fans and really kind of, I don't know, getting to experience that more, not being in the game was it was cool. There was a lot of Royal in the stands, so I expect it to be the same way this year. You know,
is it different like when you guys like travel to a big place like that? Because I mean, I've been to the same places over and over again when I played at Vanderbilt, so like I don't know, it's a little bit different. Like when you guys go to SC or like Allegiant Stadium, stuff like that, like is it cool to see all like the BYU fans?
Oh yeah, that's always one of the best parts about the game, bro. Like, did you ever play at Neyland? I
did play. I hate that place. I absolutely hate that place.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great outcome to that game, so it has good memories in my head. But I remember the first thing, like going out the tunnel and looking up at the top, like 2 or 3, 4 rows on the very top, and like all around was like blue. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
So I don't know. It's cool that there are BYU fans everywhere. You know, they're gonna show up to a game regardless, and especially in close to Utah, you can always expect a lot of BYU fans to show up.
Does your family come to every game?
My parents do, yeah.
Yeah.
They go to every one. My mom especially, she's been going to every one, so props to her. She makes it work. So yeah, she's solid. Do your parents come?
Yeah, I mean, my brother comes out to every game, and then my parents, they work back home, so every game that they can't make it to, they definitely do. And, you know, without knowing if it's my last season or not, they definitely try to come out a lot this year. So, and they said they love it. Like, literally,
they like it out here.
Yeah, like, when they had gone to the Baylor game, they talked about it, and they're like, Dad was like, my mom was like crying because the environment was so good. And I was like, it's just football. And she's like, to you, it's just football. To me, it's family. So, you know, it was really good to hear that.
Too. She makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
I felt that way growing up, going to games. It's just something about Lavelle, man.
So your whole family has gone here and everything like that?
I mean, my mom went here, but like none of my family really went here. We just always been BYU fans, coming to games and whatnot. But shoot, it's always good vibes at BYU. It's always my dream as a child to play there. So shoot, solid.
Well, I figured that somebody wants to ask me a question.
I think everyone wants to know about your ejection.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming.
I figured about that. That's a good way to segue into it. Yeah, so first, before I talk about that, so you were out on the field when I got a questionable targeting call. What did you think about the situation before we get into it? Like, what did you see?
Let me just say, I was probably the closest one to the hit.
Yeah.
Like, I was running by, and like, if you didn't get him, I probably would have at least tackled him in some way. But when I heard the smack, bro, that was like, I'm not even kidding, one of the loudest hits I've heard. Like, just being right there, I don't know. It was loud. I was in disbelief. I was like, oh my god, like that guy might have died, but it was a solid hit. Like, I'm happy that you can explain, I guess.
I mean, okay, so like, I'm not gonna explain like what coverage or whatever the case is, but like, pretty much, like, I was like, if we get this look in this coverage, I'm blitzing. I was like, I don't care what it is. I was like, it's gonna turn into a corner blitz, and we got the look, and I was like, we're up by however many points. I was like, all right, if I miss, you know, I got you pursuing. I had Micah pursuing. I was like, all right, you know, here goes nothing. So right as it went, right as they dropped the ball in the wide receiver's hands, I just took off. And like within seconds of seeing it, I was like, dude, if I like hit him, I'm definitely out. Like, I definitely was gonna be out. No appeal, no nothing. Like, I was gonna be out the game. So I slowed up at the last second, but he was a lot smaller than me. So like, I was just like, hit him, and then I wrapped and suplexed and whatever the cases, and I was like, okay, got up. I was hyped. The crowd was like roaring, and I was like, oh, this is like awesome. And then we were about to line up for the next play, and then like there was no flag on the field, and it was like a box review, and I was like, what is going on? And like Coach Kalani came up to me, and he was like, hey, like, they're reviewing for targeting, but he was like, you wrapped up? He was like, you're gonna be fine in whatever the cases. And I was like, oh, okay, good. And then they were still reviewing it, and I was like, dude, this is just way too long for a review, for it to be a box review. And like, they didn't really explain to Kalani or anything like that. They were just like, yeah, like, he's got, like, he can't play for the rest of the game. And I was like, what? And I was like, can you tell me what happened? They're like, yeah, you just been disqualified. And I was just like, but I still haven't been told. Like, they're like, oh, targeting forcible contact with the crown of your head. And I looked at the play up on the screen, and I was like, I didn't hit him with the crown of my head. I literally hit him with my visor. There was a scratch across the middle of my visor where his helmet hit mine. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I decided to walk into the locker room to change into my street clothes, nonetheless. And I like came back, whatever, cheated on the game, and I talked to Kalani, and Kalani's like, so, you know, there's a new rule because like targeting's had like a different rule change every year. He's like, we can always submit 5 plays from each game anyway to go get looked at. And he was like, well, we can actually appeal a targeting call. And he was like, all right, we're going to appeal this targeting call, whatever the case is. He goes, I don't know how successful it would be because it's targeting. You know, they're trying to make the game safer, whatever people want to call it. And so I was like, all right, when should I know? He was like, I think like probably later on into next week. And I was like, all right, well, that kind of sucked because I was like, I don't know. It's a different way to prepare.
Yeah,
I was like, do I prepare to like be in street clothes for the first half and then get ready at halftime? And then it was like last night. I was just hanging out at home because we got a couple days off, and G reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, like you're good." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." I was like, "I'm having a good time at home," and he was like, "No, like you can play." And I was like, "No way!" I was like, "Dude, you're lying right now." He was like, "Yeah, we got it handled." He said we submitted on Friday. They let us know earlier today. We just didn't see till like right now. And I was like, okay. And then John Swift texted me, and he was like, "All right, you're good." And I was like, "No way, man!" And so I had to go celebrate, and I went and like got so like expensive sushi at home, like spent like $150, but I was like, dude, I get to play, dude, so like I'm so down for it.
Dang, that's a clutch rule.
I know.
Dang,
I know.
I could use that last year.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Did you guys get anybody ejected last year?
I did. I bet. I got
Well, be honest, was it like?
I mean, it wasn't to his head, you know. It was like this part of my head to my face mask into his chest. But
and that was targeting?
It was a quarterback, yeah. So
what game?
Georgia Southern last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anyone throw a burrito at you afterwards?
Shoot, no, but I watched the burrito actually like land right by Kalani.
Wait,
kind of funny.
What happened?
Somebody just like the fans in Georgia were wild for sure, but yeah, at some point there was a burrito launch from the stands. Yeah, and it almost hit Kalani. It was like a foot away from Kalani. It was kind of funny. But
Kalani did say after the game, to be fair, that he told a couple of fans that he was hungry.
Okay,
because I guess sense. It was like you had a long drive or something like that.
It was a long
so, like,
drive.
Maybe the fans were just trying to be nice. They're like, "Hey, coach, like, good job.
That's a good point. That's a good point. They probably were just trying to feed him.
Yeah, you know? some of that Southern hospitality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, targeting is annoying.
Gabe, walk us through those 48 minutes. Or 48 minutes. Probably felt like 48 minutes at this point, but those 48 hours while you are in limbo a little bit, because you touched on it a little bit, but did you expect to hear as quickly as you did that your targeting was overturned?
So like I went to go talk with them on Friday, and I was like, hey, like truthfully, I was like, when do you think we'll hear back? And I got that response, but they're like, they're positive about playing on Thursday. They're like, we can submit it today, and like nobody's playing today, or like there weren't that many people playing today, and they said they'll let us know. He's like, they won't view it. The NCAA office is closed on Sunday, so he's like, they have to view it today and tomorrow. And then he was like, I bet you if they don't get to it then, because there's games this weekend or sometime next week. So I just went with at least getting through the weekend, and if I could get through the weekend, then I was like, then I'll figure out how to plan accordingly. And then hearing yesterday just made it easy, because like we didn't practice on Friday, so I was like, okay, back to regular business. And like we were gonna keep it a secret, but then I guess Kalani said whatever the case about the situation.
Cat's out of the bag, right, Caleb?
Yeah. So you know, it was good. I mean, either way, you guys would have found out if you guys went to practice and saw me out there practicing first team. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Max, as somebody who has experience with the targeting process, you already said you wish that this appeals process had been in place last year when you had to take your suspension. But what did you think of the hit that led to Gabe's ejection? Do you want to pull him in the linebacker room now?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like corners that will lay the boom, that's what I like. Like, I'm not kidding. I'll watch, yeah. Gabe's been hitting dudes all year, so that's what I like to see. Any physicality from guys who are known, position groups that are known as less physical people. Like, I love people who defy, you know, that stigma or whatever, you know. Like, everybody on the football field should be aggressive and be hitting people, in my opinion.
Appreciate that.
I got a question here from Mike in the chat. Once again, if you guys are watching, leave a question in the chat. We'll try to get to as many as we can for these guys. But I want to know something first before I get to Mike's question. Who's the team DJ this year? Who's the guy in the locker room that like takes over the playlist and plays the tunes either before or after game?
Yeah, probably our strength coach.
Yeah,
our strength coach Kalani. He's Kalani Jr. But yeah, he's the guy who's always
he's
on the
pretty
aux.
good at it too.
No, he's good. He's good with the aux.
Yeah,
he listens to us too. He plays what we want to listen to, and So he's solid. He's
Rocking Royals on the playlist?
It was
Actually, it was today at practice. It was today at practice.
Shout out to you.
I guess that we didn't listen. Maybe I just didn't remember parts of it or kisses, and and then Malik started rapping on the kiss, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is like."
I don't think I ever heard the full song until today.
Yeah, so it was good. Everybody liked it, and the strength staff hadn't heard it, and they're like, "This is pretty good. It's catchy." That's what they were saying. So it was good to hear. But no, I like Kalani plays like what it's like the Family Ties before we go out.
Yeah, we play some.
Yeah, and it's like I like it because like the whole team's like going out, and I'm like, oh, this is hype. And I sit on my like because the corners sit like the four corners. We all sit right at the front before we go out, so like we watch everybody go as the song is going on, and Kalani's like holding the thing over his head, so it's actually super funny. Yeah.
Well, I know when you guys first go out to the field, obviously before you get all padded up and everything, when you're going out just to get warm and get loose, stretch, and run and that kind of thing, everybody's got their headphones in. Mm-hmm. Everybody's listening to their own music now, their own hype track and whatnot. Maybe not necessarily like whatever's coming over the stadium PA. So what do you guys listen to get yourself pumped up? Like, do you have a specific playlist? Do you have an album that's your go-to? Like what are you listening to get yourselves pumped up for a game? We'll start with Max and we'll go Gabe.
So I think it's been interesting throughout I was actually just talking to somebody about what we listened to before the games, and throughout my career it's kind of changed. Like the first couple of years I didn't listen to rap at all. Like I only listened to like alternative or like, like folk-ish music. Like I really like the Lumineers, like that kind of vibe. So I would listen to that sort of stuff. Yeah, a little bit of Motab, But honestly, these days, I have to listen to rap. It's just I don't know.
Who is specific though? Like what's your go-to?
Like, do you have a guy right now that's
shoot, Travis Scott will always get me turned up for some games. But Lil Baby, Trippie Redd. I have a lot of artists I listen to. Lil Uzi Vert. I don't know. Who do you listen to?
I already have okay. So before the game, I just let the rap playlist just kind of go. But I have to listen to like 4 songs before we go out. Like it doesn't matter the order. It just has to be like listened to. So like my favorite song is like Solo by Future. I always gotta listen to that song. Then I got 31 Days by Future always has to come on. Then Land the Snakes by J. Cole, and then Mr. Rager by Kid Cudi. Like those 4 songs. But recently it's been Mr. Rager's been last. Because like I usually used to use them like to build up seriousness. Because like Vanderbilt was like but you guys all like to have fun and that's that. So I need something that's like a little loose, like a little more. So now that's it. That's it. Sometimes if I want a little mix, like I'll throw in. Even though like not my favorite at all, but I like this song. I like 21 Minutes by Lil Uzi Vert. Sometimes because it's like a little bit more relaxed and like you guys are all joking around and having fun before the game. So but those 4 have to be on my playlist.
Are you surprised by how loose this locker room is? I mean, you're one of the new guys still. Did it surprise you at all with just like how loose and kind of free flowing the team is?
Somebody who said it best was Gabe Summers. He was like, "We just believe we're gonna win every football game here." So like the thing is like y'all like go out there and you're like, all right, well we're just gonna go play and like we know what the result's gonna be at the end of the day. So like it doesn't matter if we come out sad, happy, like whatever the case is. You guys like it's a good brainwash to think that you guys are gonna win, right? Yeah. Like I had to like at Vanderbilt, like not to say that we didn't think we were gonna win, but like I was like I gotta be so locked in and focused on my job for us to win this football game, right? And like I'm not saying that I don't think I need to be locked in and focused here, but I think that I can do that same amount of focus, but also be happy before I go out on the field.
It's not as stressful.
It's not as stressful. Like I literally used to like clenched cheeks, like we would go out there and be like, oh, I gotta get ready. But here I'm like.
Everyone's just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Keep it loose.
Which is like, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, is it fun for you?
Yeah, I feel like, because at the beginning when I was here, like we weren't, winning 10 games a season. And we went through a couple rougher years. So it was like I don't feel like we had that same belief. I've seen the kind of mentality change in the locker room. Like, maybe we doubted ourselves or like not everyone was bought in. But I feel like now, everyone has that belief that we can play with anybody in the country type thing. So I don't know. It's kind of cool how it's changed and how like Kalani's instilled that culture, but it's still got work to do, and I feel like we're still gonna get better as the season goes on.
Dude, only game 6.
Yeah, I know, it's
wild.
crazy.
But you know what the most wild thing is? For those many that I know, this is now the most games that I've won in my career.
Really?
In college football. Yeah.
Like total or in a season?
We're about to hit the total mark. We win this weekend. We have tied now the total mark of games that I won. I now have reached double digits.
Okay.
But what's it called? At this moment in time, the best season I had was 3-9. So we're 4-1 right now. So hopefully it doesn't go bad, but like we can't go lower. So it's really good.
Well, last week, just peeking at the current Max, I asked Gabe and everybody else that was there. Gabe was part of it though. We asked him why they chose BYU, why they came here, and one of the answers that he gave was because they win here. Like I just wanted to win. That was one of his big answers. So I'm glad to hear that. At least something is working out to your liking for choosing BYU. Another question that we got last week was about NFL favorite NFL teams, favorite NFL players, that kind of thing. So I'll exempt Gabe because, you guys can go and scroll back into the feed for him. But Porter wants to know, Max, if you've got a favorite NFL player, or if you don't have a favorite, who's somebody that you kind of model your game after?
Honestly, growing up, I've never really been a big NFL fan. Like, I never had a team growing up. Like, I like the 49ers, and I'd say I still favor them. I know they're probably just finishing their game right now, but I don't know. I feel like I have a couple different players that I try to model my game after, but mostly linebackers, obviously Fred and Sione, just guys that have been in the program. Sione especially because he's always been a good friend to me, and just love the way he plays. But as well, like Leighton Vander Esch plays a linebacker at on the Cowboys. He's solid. But really, when it comes to teams, like I don't really have a team that like I've always loved. I'd like to play on the 49ers, I guess. That'd be solid, but I'm open.
You guys obviously aren't on Twitter during games, but there have been a couple times this year, Max, where Twitter has referred to you as Fred Warner 2.0. So
I mean, I think Fred has his place up there, and it's pretty cemented. But hopefully you can just have a solid season. Maybe give him a run for his money.
Maybe not 2.0. Maybe like 3.2.
Yeah.
Fred Warner 3.2.
And in my personal opinion, like from watching a lot of ball, like you remind me of like Isaiah Simmons because you can get into coverage. Like Isaiah Simmons when his last year at Clemson, he lined up at corner, safety, backer, DN, like whatever the case is. And like I think it was me and Caleb, we were talking about a practice day, like you could line up as safety. Like literally you could line up as safety. You just have to learn to like do everything else. But like if it was go get ball, like literally you'd be a really good safety. So that's why I said Isaiah Simmons, because he's a do it all type of guy. And I think that for your body style, like I think that's better for you as well.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Don't I recall in high school you played a tiny bit of safety?
I did.
A little bit.
Actually, I played DN up until my sophomore year, and then I switched to safety my junior year. They moved me straight from DN to safety, and it was fun. It was interesting, but it gave me a lot of good skill sets that I have now. So
he's never playing on that boundary corner, so he's not coming for your job. Don't worry.
I like the field, so it's okay.
I found one. Let me scroll way up here because Dad Braves says great uni reveal. He's a big fan of not just the black uniforms with the gradient helmet, but the way you guys revealed kind of the uniforms for the games this weekend in Las Vegas. So I know y'all got a little bit of a pre-screening before the rest of us got it this morning. On Friday, I think it was. They called you into the team room and everybody got to see the full reveal. What was the atmosphere like? Walk us through what everything was in there. And maybe who was the most hype when the helmets popped out and the All Blacks and all that?
Okay, I can't comment. I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there?
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I can't comment on the situation.
Shoot, honestly, I don't know if you heard I think they released like the sound bit from that without
they had like a 3 second like reaction.
Yeah, so you could kind of get from that video just the vibes. I think everybody was on their feet, excited. anything you get, anytime you get anything new, especially like a jersey combination, I feel like, college kids love that. We love that as players. Anything, to make us look good and feel good, we'll play better like that. So
just like
I like an excuse to drop a couple $100 on some new gear too.
get some back
hey, like Deion Sanders says, man. Like, look good, play good, feel good, man. Get paid good.
Look good, feel good, get paid good. Exactly. Marcus Freeman, he's the head coach of Notre Dame, actually said today, because Notre Dame's got some alternate uniforms, obviously. It's the Shamrock Series. They dropped them well before you guys did. But he was asked about the alternates for both teams and everything, and he called both uniforms drippy. Which I don't think I've ever heard a head college football coach say drippy, but Marcus Freeman's only like 35 years old, so he's allowed to. Are these uniforms drippy?
I'd say they're pretty drippy.
Yeah, I think theirs are just white and gold. Like, I don't think it gets like any different than that, but I get the focus. Like, that's what they do. Like, for us, like the black, I think is drippy because we don't really do it often. So like, it looks good. I'm happy that they didn't come out with something green because those are disgusting. Those are like actually really bad. So I'm happy it was like white and gold, very neutral.
Well, if there's anything about Notre Dame, it's the gold with the gold helmets, the gold pants, the gold dome, obviously on campus. So I'm glad that they still kept the gold. I'm a big fan of the gold numbers. That they've got on theirs. I know their uniforms have been getting a lot of kind of some slander online. I do really like the gold numbers. I will say that. I think that looks really good. I also really like there's a royal trim on the numbers on your guys' uniform. That
makes them pop.
A lot of people are noticing too much. But
We go one more question from the chat and then wrap her up.
Okay,
let's get out of here on this because obviously Max had a pick 6 last week. You guys can rewind and read through that. And the only other way you guys have been forcing turnovers have been through a couple of fumbles this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Dabriz wants to know what's a better feeling? What gets you more hyped? When you pull down an interception or when you force a fumble and there's chaos and then one of your bros dives on it and picks it up? What's a better feeling?
Shoot. I mean, for me personally, I don't think there's a lot of things that are better than like scoring a touchdown, especially at like the collegiate level. Like, I don't know. Before I did that, I always just imagined what it'd be like, and both times I've done it this year have been like exactly what I imagined, just like unreal feelings. So I don't know. It's hard to beat that feeling, honestly.
I love that. I never did it before, but the both times that I've done it, I'm over here like, dang.
Little humble brag. Well, now you know the mission, Gabe. You got to catch up to Max.
Got to get in the end zone, man. Got to get in the end zone.
You will.
Next one right here. Next one.
You can jump a 5-yard out and cover 2.
Oh gosh, leave my safety butt naked out to dry.
like when you read the blitz,
Amy is not a fan of the Notre Dame greens, just so you know. So your guys' opinion also not super hot. She says they're at least better than the muddy green uniforms that Oregon wore a couple weeks ago, but we won't talk too much about that game either.
Oh, they would have been. The Notre Dame would have been bad too if they came out with like those pinstripe ones that they wore that one year. Also, that would have been really bad. Also,
so they played my alma mater. They played Syracuse one year wearing pinstripes.
Yeah, my friend was on the football team at Notre Dame. He was their starting DN, and I was like, next.
No, Notre Dame's just so classic, so traditional.
Yeah.
Amy wants to know who's getting the pick this weekend. Is it going to be Gabe or is it going to be Caleb?
I mean, I'm gonna go with Gabe and Caleb, just like Max said.
Both.
I just said the key to victory is 3 turnovers. Yeah. 3 turnovers. So that means Gabe, Caleb, and Max. How about all of us? Everybody's happy.
I'm down.
Which 3? Well, how about all 3 of us? Hey, if all 3 of us get in the end zone, I think that we all should spend the night in Las Vegas because our money's good right there. Yeah. Our money is good that night.
Yeah, we will.
That's true. Max, personal question for you. I'm going to pull this. This isn't coming out of the chat, but just out of me because you're from Bountiful. You grew up in Bountiful. which not a lot of people on the YouTubes know. Bountiful's about as close to Logan as it is to Provo. Does winning that wagon wheel, beating Utah State, mean a little bit something extra for you being from northern Utah? Or
Shoot, I mean, honestly, where I'm from, I mean, in Bountiful within my friend group, it was either BYU or Utah. So in that regard, to like, you know, holding it over my friends for bragging rights, it's not as much of a thing. But I've had probably more friends play up at Utah State than Utah, and you know, being able to beat some of those guys is a solid feeling for sure. So I don't know, it's hard to say. I think beating Utah though, like watching the BYU Utah games growing up, you can't beat a victory like that. So
Gabe, who had the best rendition of Wagon Wheel in the locker room last week? Last Thursday.
Ooh.
Who was singing it the loudest?
Maybe Harry. Yeah, I think that for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that about does it. But Gabe, Jeudy-Lally, Max, Tooley, you want to sign us out, Jake?
Oh, I'm happy to sign us out. Yeah, if you guys want. Just thank you everyone for joining the chat. We've getting like every week. I feel like we get better response from the chat, more questions. So we appreciate you guys, all your support there. Also, this better. Sorry, producer man. And be shorter. Okay, I'll be short too. And we want to shout out our sponsor one more time, Carrick Home Designs. We said great place to get your architectural design or see homes you want to in their new VR that's coming out. Chubby's Cafe, best burgers, beer battered fries. Honestly, their wings are great. Their shakes are great. If you like buffalo chicken sandwiches, those are really good. The whole thing's good. Like, the whole thing is great. And we wanted out Miracle Bowl. Guys, Miracle Bowl, those three sponsors probably do more for BYU football players than 90% of the companies in the state of Utah. So give them a chance to like earn your business, support the guys who are supporting our guys, right? Go out and see them. And again, please go visit savedamien.com, follow them on Instagram, do what you can to help out Damien and his family. Last word, final thoughts? We out?
Go Cougs, and see y'all in Vegas.
Okay. Thanks, guys. That's it. We're out.